Now, new research out today examines how people who have lost someone to coronavirus have coped and the issues which have made things worse. The study by Farewill found that navigating the complex issues surrounding death and bereavement have been heightened during the pandemic. I'm joined now by the former professional rugby player Gareth Thomas, who lost a family member at the beginning of the pandemic, and although they didn't die as a direct result of COVID, is supporting the study, calling for the processes to be made simpler. Gareth joins me now. Gareth, thank you very much for talking to us about this. I believe it was your uncle who passed away?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for the loss of your uncle, Gareth. Were you able to attend his funeral?
No, because it was at the very start of the pandemic, and as things changed and they kind of loosened things at the start, nobody was allowed to go to hospital, and at the funeral there was only 4 people. But I think, as you said, the research from Farewill shows is that everyone who suffered a loss was negatively impacted, because after that, then trying to arrange a funeral, trying to arrange things as simple as flowers, people being furloughed in work, not being able to get through to anybody, makes a grieving process a lot more difficult when you're unable as a family to all come together and celebrate the life of a family member. So and it's such a difficult process to go through anyway. But everything was just heightened and made worse by the fact that a pandemic put restrictions on a process that you feel you have to go through when sadly you lose somebody.
Absolutely, because when someone dies, there are these rituals that we go through that help us to say goodbye. And how much more difficult has that made things for you and your family, not being able to mourn your uncle properly?
Well, I think celebrate his life really is how we would put it. And here in Wales, restrictions are different again to there in England. So we're still restricted here. So we still really haven't been able, as a family, to kind of get together yet again. And things are difficult as they are. So it just heightens and it just adds to everything, and it's a difficult process anyway to go through, and it's kind of an archaic process. And I think what we've learned is that if anything could change, then it's the process of making death, making people being able to deal with death a lot easier. Because even without the pandemic, it's a difficult process, but you add the pandemic to it, it just becomes an impossibility.
And tell us more then about why, Gareth, you are speaking about this, because you have this in common with so many people who have lost family members in this pandemic, not been able to perhaps visit them in hospitals, see them before they passed away, go to funerals. So why are you speaking out about this at this time?
I just think I want to try and make this process easier for people. See, what it's done now is we're in an environment now where a conversation about death, a conversation about possible death, is brought up. It's something that people are talking about, and have a family member die, you realise actually the process is very archaic. At the end of this pandemic, we're all trying to hope that we move into a better society, an easier way of living. And I think what Farewill are trying to do is trying to create an easier process for people to be able to deal with grief, or for people to be able to prepare for grief. Because I know at 45, I never considered writing a will because I never thought about death. But I've realised now that actually I need to prepare for my death. And you need to prepare, so it makes it easier for other people. So I feel like why it's a good time to talk about now, because when we come out of this, hopefully so many things have changed, but changed for the better.
And help and support will be out there. Gareth, thank you so much for talking to us today. Gareth Thomas. Now, the time is 9:35. It's time now to catch up with the sports news. Here's Mike Bushell. Morning to you, Mike.
Yes, good morning, Anita. Thanks very much. Well, in the